We are back for the fourth time running in the East Final. This Canadiens team has a knack of making deep playoff runs to the East in the Stanley Cup Final. We just don't know any different, this team. It's deep playoff run to the Stanley Cup Final or bust. It's Stanley Cup or bust for this team at this point in the GM mode. We have very rarely lost. In fact, I believe our last loss in a playoff round was Season 2 against the Maple Leafs. That was a very disappointing series as well. And the last time the cup was hoisted by a team other than the Montreal Canadiens, I'm pretty sure it would have been Season 5. We didn't qualify for the playoffs in Season 5. We meet again with the New York Islanders. I'm pretty sure that we met the New York Islanders in Season 1. I know it was a sweep. I have a whole lot to say about that series. It was a sweep. I'm pretty sure it was a conference final that year as well. And the Islanders rolled out Rick DiPietro, who couldn't stop a beach ball if the game was played with one. He wouldn't have stopped it. He was horrible in that series in Season 1. So now we take a look at the Season 9 New York Islanders. If this team isn't dramatically different, I will be surprised. And again, you can skip all of this and go straight to gameplay if you feel that you need to or want to. So here's the New York Islanders. We're going to take a look at all of this. I do this ahead of the start of every playoff series. We look at the lines. We look at the stats of the opposing team. So it actually surprisingly hasn't changed that much in the top six. I mean, it makes sense for Tavares. That's a sensible one. They still have Tavares. They still have Grabner. I'm not sure the exact ages of these players. Tavares is still in his early-ish 30s. Because we tried to trade for Tavares in the summer. I took a look at him as a potential trade target, and we just couldn't find anything that made sense between ourselves and the Islanders. Anders Lee centers the second line as an 86 overall. It's a lot of low 80s players in this lineup. I'm very shocked that this team made the East Final with this forward core. Now, there isn't a forward in this entire... Well, there is Adam McQuaid, by the way, on the fourth line. He is a defenseman. Technically, there is a defenseman playing on the fourth line. Now, the reason for that, if you're wondering why is there a defenseman on the fourth line, is the CPU team being stupid. They probably have a ton of injuries, and they probably don't have any cap space, so they have to play whoever they can at forward. They probably couldn't afford to call an actual forward up from the AHL due to cap space. That's just the best guess that I have for the Islanders. But this team is, it's funny because you can't really say that from the second line down that there's a fall off, because there isn't a fall off. It's just a bunch of 80 overall players on this Islanders team. They're made up of a couple of snipers in the top six. I'm seeing a lot of power forwards and two-way forwards. And on that fourth line, they got a grinder with a defensive defenseman on the left wing. And hey, I've had to play a defenseman on the left wing in this GM mode. So on the defense side of the puck, it's not really all that flashy over here either. But again, they have the benefit of not seeing a lot of fall off from their tops. The first defensive pair, I should say, I want to say top six. Their first D pair to their third D pair, there really isn't any fall off. Not really. Travis Hamonic is your best defenseman at 86 overall. Your worst defenseman is, former Montreal Canadien, Torrey Krug. We had him for a few seasons. Won Stanley Cups with Torrey Krug in the lineup, and he returns to the Bell Center in the opposing team's fashion. Power play, a snapshot of it for the New York Islanders. I feel like this is a team we can absolutely take care of. I was shocked that we took care of the Bruins in a total sweep, considering that we have changed the sliders for this playoff run. And we changed the sliders to make this playoff run a little more extreme, a little more difficult, and it was against the Maple Leafs in that first round. Oh boy, that first round about drove me insane, just getting through the 7 games we played. But they got Barney in the net, the purple dinosaur. Barney in the net. The last time that we saw the Islanders, like I said, it was DiPietro, and he couldn't have saved us. He had trouble saving any shots that he saw. It was easy to score on DiPietro. I've never seen such a goaltending fiasco like the one that we had in Season 1 against that Islanders team. Backing him up is Mikkola. Both are butterfly-style goaltenders, I'm eager to take a look at these goaltenders in further detail. So this is the Islanders in 11 games played. Tavares is their best player overall wise. I mean, all the way around. He's 89 overall, and yes, to confirm, he's 31. I thought he was on an expiring contract. No, he's not. He's on a 3-year deal. So Tavares is still very much a capable player. His season in review in the regular season. We're really here to just look at playoff stats, but I wanted to see more about Tavares in Season 9. What is Season 9 John Tavares accomplishing with the Islanders team? He has 4 goals in 11 games. Now, we knew Grabner would get his goals because Grabner is one of those guys, he's just very good in this game. He scores goals in this game. Anytime I've had to play against Grabner in the video game, he just finds a way to score goals, being the sniper that he is. It's for whatever reason, he scores goals. So Ryan Strome is here at center. I got to pay attention to the injuries this team had. I didn't pay attention if Strome was in their lineup, but I do know the Islanders are kind of deep at center. Their center group is solid as far as I'm concerned. The question is, how will their depth hold up over the course of this series, and is their goaltending going to be good enough? Do they have good enough goaltenders? Calvin DeHaan is still on the island. That's crazy. He's still on the island in the real world. He's kind of played around on a bunch of different teams after he left the Islanders. Anders Lee is 31 years old as well. So this is an Islanders core that isn't... How old is Josh Bailey? 32. Yeah, this Islanders core is not aged out just yet. So this is a group of experienced veterans on this team, which is good. And the former Predator, Matt Halishuk, 33 years old on this team. Okposo's got to be old, 34. He's getting to that point where he's got to consider retirement. Okay, so Torrey Krug, what did you do with the Islanders this season? And he signed to, I don't know how many year deal he signed. When did we move on from Krug? How long has it been since Krug was on our blue line? Anyway, he had 3 goals in the regular season. He played in just 47 of the 82 games, 13 points. He's contributed 4 points and 1 goal in 11 games played so far. He is a +7 in the playoffs, so they got that going for Krug on that third D pair. Further down the lineup, this is a team that doesn't scare me on paper. I mean, we can jump into gameplay, and I could have my mind terrified very quickly. But on paper, they don't scare me. It's the goalies. This is going to be the thing. Wow. So both goalies have gotten into the action. Now, my question is, I wish this told you games started, because I'm going to guess that Barney has started. That's interesting. But they played 11, right? They played 11 games in the playoffs. So that means both goalies have started some games. I'm going to guess Satcher could be the guy. Tegan Satcher has really good numbers in the handful. How many minutes? 229 minutes. I don't know if he's played. He's probably started and played at least a full game. I don't know what the deal was with the Islanders. I don't know what caused them to go to Satcher. At some point, he started the game in the playoffs. Let's see. He's 27. He's a former first-round pick. He was picked the 16th overall in 2013. 3-year remaining deal. Well, I wanted to see the potential. It's 3.5 star potential, but he's an 84 overall, which is decent. And you don't need to be much higher than an 84 overall to succeed in EA's simulation as a goaltender in this game. And Leonard Barney, let's see, where was he drafted? He was drafted by Philadelphia and created by the game, so he's a created player, and he was taken in the first round, and he's not as good as Satcher is. He's 82 overall, and he's having what was his playoff stats? I forgot what it was. He's played in 8 games. His GAA is not terrible. His save percentage isn't terrible, but he's clearly being outplayed by Satcher in the 4 games Satcher has gotten into. And the last thing, this team is definitely dealing with it on the injury front. Satcher is injured. But it's okay, that answers a lot of questions. They don't have a choice to go to Satcher. That's what's happened. He got injured. And so they did have to go to their other goaltender, who I already forgot what the name of the goaltender is. So I don't know what date in the game world it is. Is it even close to May 20th? He's got a bruised foot. Someone took a slap shot and hit him in the foot. That's probably what happened. Paka is out. That's a defenseman. And Josh Bailey. I didn't pay attention to how good Pocket is because I looked through the stats, so he should be somewhere in the stat screen. If you really want to know how good he is, it's not going to matter because he's out until June 30th, so he won't be back for this series at all. Wouldn't be back at all for the playoffs, even if they made the final. So Josh Bailey returning June 23rd. Not gonna have to worry about Josh Bailey in this series. Curious if we will see Satcher. The conference final welcomes the Montreal Canadiens back with open arms. We know how to get here consistently because this would be the 4th year in a row we've guaranteed ourselves an appearance. Leonard Barney, that's right, Barney in the net. I gotta remember the purple dinosaur. It's not actually the purple dinosaur, but that's how I've got to remember who's in the net. But this would be our 4th straight year gunning for the Stanley Cup final. We got to win 4 games in this series if we want to do so. We faced John Tavares, who was a target of ours in the offseason. Of course, I couldn't find a deal that made sense for both teams. I always try to find a trade that makes sense for both sides, and I just couldn't find anything that would have worked out between the Islanders and the Canadiens for John Tavares. But I did try as I might to acquire the Islanders center. It's a good thing that the Islanders didn't trade him as far as they're concerned, as Grabner has been somersaulted into by PK Subban off the cheeks there of Matt Duchene. We have a clean bill of health as well entering this series. That'll go all the way back down to Barney, who's going to cover it as Ryan Kudrowski puts that sweaty ass right in the face. Yeah, get a good whiff of that already. It's going to be a long series of that. And like I said, clean bill of health. Not a clean bill of health for the Islanders. They're missing a couple of notable players. Josh Bailey is out of the lineup to begin this series, and in fact for the whole series. Out as well for perhaps the majority of this series is Satcher in the net. Tegan Satcher, I believe, was the name of the goaltender. He is the Islanders, I assume, starting goaltender. Had better numbers than Barney did through the playoffs so far to this point for the New York Islanders. He is not available as he has a bruised foot. So like I alluded to in the intro to this game, I'm assuming that he took a slap shot off the foot. And, while I haven't taken a slap shot off the foot before, I've taken a wrist shot off the foot, and that hurts. So I'm only speculating here about as to what has happened. He could have dropped a 45-pound plate in the gym on his foot, and that would have sucked. But anyway, it's just pure speculation on my part at this point. I don't know if the goaltending will make a difference. We can't get out of our own zone to start this one, so it's a poor start for the Canadiens. We've barely spent any zone time, which is a far cry from the first time we met the New York Islanders in Season 1. Yeah, we saw the Islanders, not the exact same Islanders squad in Season 1. This is a different team, obviously being that we're 9 seasons deep at this point, but we did see the Islanders in Season 1. I thought in the conference final as well that year. Voda had a brief turnover. The Islanders are preventing us from getting any space acquired out of the neutral zone and into the attacking zone. Picked up and handled by Voda up to Bulkinen. This team is without its speed right now. We have no gusto on the ice. I should have gone back to the blue line with that chance. Diving in is Matt Duchene. He shoots on Barney, who makes the save in the 5-hole. It is sealed off there. There's Torrey Krug, number 48, having a friendly chit-chat with his former teammates and former captain Matt Duchene. I forgot already how long ago we had Torrey Krug on this roster. He was a part of some Stanley Cup winning teams. But we don't welcome him back to the building with open arms this time around. It's not going to be such a friendly series. And any chance that I get to get a piece of Torrey Krug, I'm going to take my opportunity. I will seize the opportunity to light Torrey Krug's Christmas tree up. And I don't mean I'm going to light up his Christmas tree in a friendly way. It goes in off of Carey Price. What a weak goal for Foster, and the Islanders take the lead. Oh, if that's the kind of goaltending we're going to get out of Carey Price in this series, it's going to be a long one. TJ Foster from a long range out. It mixes up Carey Price in the net. He made the blocker save, but after that, he just lost track of the rebound. You know, if you don't know where the rebound is, I know Okposo was in the vicinity. If you don't know where the rebound is, don't react at all as a goaltender. Don't move a muscle if you have no idea where the rebound went. I know how it is. I play beer league goaltender. I've had blocker saves that have popped straight up before in the real world, so I understand exactly what he's going through. But you don't need to have that kind of a reaction. He basically did some break dances in his goal crease, and he breakdanced himself into an own goal. Ryan Murphy with the pinwheel move and scores past the glove side of Barney. The kids are all right with that one. That's Ryan Murphy. Scores a clean slap shot goal from the blue line. Look at the cutback move from the Stanley Cup playoff logo almost. A howitzer into the back of the twine. Canadiens tie the game. The lead didn't last long for the Islanders. This is why I brought Ryan Murphy on board, is because of the offensive skill. You can see it in his attributes. He has a very high offensive category. Would you please leave Kamayev alone? My God. That should be a penalty behind the play. It will not. Drop pass to myself behind the... Oh, look at that. I fooled number 4. Who was number 4? To Monahan, and swept along to the corner. A little bit of a not so helpful nudge there from the Islanders defense. It's poked free of Halishuk. Skated forward by the New York Islanders. This nice stick-on puck there. Shot by Strome to the blocker, and Price had no problem with that one on the blocker save. Strome stays with this despite being forced to the ice and flung wide on the backhand. Chopped back to the blue line by Monahan. Pulak's shot on net is handled by Price again on the blocker side. To the point, Pulak second time trying, glove save and melted down. That should be a whistle and no further play for the Islanders in the Canadian zone. Price has already been a busy man to begin this series. Pulak shooting the puck at will from the point. If this continues to be a trend, I don't have a problem with blue line shots, especially if it's blue line shots for our team, and then it's coming off the stick of Ryan Murphy. You see the shot totals already up to 8 for the Islanders. If this blue line chances continue, we're going to have to change our strategy to tight point as Grabner forces a turnover. There's a good stick on puck again. Shot is flung wide by Tavares. Shot knocked down. There you go. Kujawinski, I'm going to play this wide. Now we got to skate into it clean. He does. Skate to stick move. Back to the point. Subban. We're going to slide that over to Hedman. Shot. Blocked down. Hedman jump on that chance. Gets the second one through, but it was wide of the net. Subban with another pirouette shot. Blocked. Pacioretty back to the point. Kujawinski cannot keep the zone. But we can delay. We can buy a little time. Little subtle move here. And shoot. Spinned it off by Barney, but only just with the stick side. Back to the point. It's Begris. D to D. Murphy. Shot again. Oh my goodness. Kujawinski. Wrong place, wrong time. Blocked that one. We know how lethal the Ryan Murphy blue line chance can be. We've seen it one time in this game. We would like to continue to make that a trend. I mean, they have a lot of shots from Pulak. Foster has been dealt with by Ryan Murphy, but he turns it over. Anders Lee's in. Shot, pad save, big rebound. Lee scores on the rebound. We can't give these guys these second chance opportunities. This has been that was a bad turnover for one and all by Ryan Murphy. I was singing his praises just a moment ago. Price made it's another problem with Price. He made the initial save, big rebound, recovers to his feet right at the wrong time. Lee seeks the opportunity to go 5-hole. He scores. I don't know why we're looking at 35. That was Anders Lee's goal. That's not Anders Lee on the bench. This is a sluggish start for the Canadiens, so there will be some adjustments that may need to be made strategically with this game. I could make line changes as well if I see that is what the team needs to get back in a game like this. Big stick at the point by Hjalmarsson. It'll be chased down by Pulak. The Islanders defenseman McQuaid playing at forward, by the way. The defenseman playing at forward. We'll see how that works out. And as I speculated, I thought that would be due to injury. It is due to injury for the Islanders. The CPU has a defenseman playing at forward because of injury and perhaps a lack of cap space. Oh, LeBlanc shields one off. Back to the point to Mernon. Oh, jumping in was Brad Marchand. Vovoda can't find the rebound. Smothered by Barney. Vovoda, in his rookie season, Still looking for that first career playoff goal. It has not found his stick blade just yet in this postseason. Leading Tavares. Leading scorer is Tavares for the Islanders. That catches no one by surprise. It certainly doesn't catch me by surprise. Kamayev, oh my God, 2 Islanders there. You cannot skate into that. Over to Subban, quick shot. And they'll block it. But as long as they'll block it and it's just one man up there to cause that issue, fine with me. We just got to get it back and reset in the attacking zone. I'm going to punch this wide. They were all over that. Anders Lee with an easy intercept and a blatant giveaway by the Canadiens forward. Lee into the zone, pushes things forward for the Islanders. Hedman going after the goal scorer, one of the 2 goal scorers for the Islanders tonight. Foster, I believe, was the last name. That'll be a shot from Lee. We screened Price. We're dealing with too much pressure from the Islanders. Shala, interception for Kamayev. He does a toe drag move. It's up to Stromwall. Now Stromwall will be the only man making the attempt here. And that'll be the end of that play. Krug nudged him off the puck momentarily. Shot. What a big save with the glove. He picked that one off. It was an excellent opportunity for Stromwall and the Canadiens forward. The Canadiens continue to go away at it. Ming shooting up high to the shoulder of Barney. He played it along for Krug, who's been smushed on the boards. It's not a penalty. I'm amazed myself that there wasn't a penalty on the Krug hit. There's more contact. Brad Marchand on Shala. He digs the puck out. Look at this work from Marchand. This line is just absolutely feasting and leaving no crumbs on the New York Islanders right now. Tavares gets it rink wide for Grabner. He's got all the speed and he's got the skill to put the puck in the back of the net as well. We rim it up the boards. That was clean. That was well done and well handled by the defense. Getting the puck out of the zone for the Canadiens. There's a centering attempt. Kucherwenski to one knee, but I don't know how these glove saves right now are being made by Barney. I can't help but think of 2 things when I say the name Barney. I think either of Barney the dinosaur or I'm thinking of Barney from How I Met Your Mother. So it's going to be one of those 2 things for the rest of this series. That is a potential icing, but it is not, even though it was touched by Hamnick first. Backdoor Kucherwenski, it's a tap-in goal taken away by Barney. That'll be a chance for the third line. I'll give him the shift with 22.2 to go in the period. This has been a fast first period. It kind of went by in a hurry. There've been no penalties so far. I'm surprised because there's been some questionable hits that have ran right up to that line, specifically for the Canadiens on the Islanders. We've dished down a few hits tonight on the boards that I think could easily be a penalty. Now, Vavoda, show me why you should move up higher in the lineup. He did not on the face-off. You got to show me why you should be higher in the lineup. I gave you this face-off opportunity in the attacking zone, and we haven't come through with it. We got to prevent another shot before the period ends, but I'm sure Cizikas, he will center and will not connect with a teammate. That'll be it for 20 minutes of play in the books for the first game of this series and the first period. We do come out on the wrong side of the scoreboard after 1. But you can thank Carey Price. I would really say you can thank Price for sure for the first goal. The second goal was just a bad turnover, but he still needs to make that second save right here. You see the rebound and the poor recovery to the feet by Carey Price. I'd say we rebounded nicely as that period went on. We only got outshot 12-8. I thought we had at the most, I felt like we had 4 shots on goal in that period. I really did. And I felt like the Islanders had about closer to 15, 16 shots on net. That's how lopsided it felt at times, which is a relief to me to see that we didn't get that heavily outplayed. But we're a patient team. We wait for our offensive chances to come to us, and we had one right there on the deflection. Huge save on the tip chance. I don't know who had the tip in front. I know Pacioretty was standing net front. There was I would assume it was Ryan Kucherwenski, it looks like, that had the deflection. Here's another look at the opportunity for the Habs forward, number 17. The save by the glove of Barney. So his glove has come up clutch so far in the game. Where did we score the goal? I thought it was blocker side, so now we know we need to shoot blocker side on the Islanders goaltender. And at this point, if his glove's going to be that good and if he's going to be as good as he's been so far, maybe we do want to see. I mean, if this is the second guy in line in net, then how good is Tegan Thatcher? That becomes the question that I have to ask. That was a big block by Ming to get us up to Marchand. Always been bowled over. Marchand almost looked like he entered the zone illegally on that one. Tied up play in front. LeBlanc Trying to get the puck back from DeHaan. Don't take a stick infraction. We just need to play this good positional defense. We got stick on puck, D to D, and then D to D once more. That was so illegal. Not necessarily the hit, but the decision to pass the puck to Damon Severson. You should go to jail for that pass. That was a horrible decision to set your teammate up for a suicide pass like that. Oh my God, we got to have some communication here along the boards. We are grinding it along the boards, and we continue to come through with the possession. In front, Ming on the back. Oh, he's going to score that on the backhand. That was a grindy shift if I've ever seen one, and this is going to go glove side on Barney. Su Kai Ming reaches goal number 4 of the playoffs. How about Kamayev and Marchand just working it out on the boards? And the two of those guys were just grinding and chipping away, waiting for their opportunity to pass, that they could send the puck in front to someone in the slot. That someone happens to be Su Kai Ming. And we will not, I was not ready for the face-off at center ice. It'll be dumped in to the blocker side of Carey Price. Kuzhawinski has the retrieval. I like that my forwards are actually getting high up on the boards. Look at the legs of Duchesne. You're not, even if that wasn't icing, it would have been canceled out very quickly. We're a faster team than the Islanders. I can feel it. We're a better team than the Islanders. I told you this team does not look very intimidating as we continue to play keep away. There's a shot, low to the pad, rebound, penalty coming up. Pacioretty for a, I'm not even sure what the call is going to be here. I'm going to guess it's a splash. Oh my goodness. Can I chop it in? Oh, come on, game. I couldn't chop that into the empty net. It will count as the touch. It didn't even have enough momentum to go into the open cage. So this penalty is not for contact with the goalie. It is for the stick infraction in front of the net. He did briefly, I think, make contact with Barney, the goaltender. Barney, the goaltender. There you go. Just so I know it's not Barney the dinosaur. It's Barney the goaltender. Can I deke this guy out? Oh my goodness, Matt Duchesne. That was so unnecessary, and yet we almost came through in big dividends with a goal there. I want a replay of that moment. That would have gone on the highlight reel for all time, because look at this toe drag moves 360 just because why not? That would have, we've scored a 360 goal with Brad Marchand. That would have added to the list of 360 goals. It hasn't happened often. It's only in fact it's only happened once in the GM mode. I've only scored a 360 no scope in the GM once. There's a deflection. Big on Barney. The puck is not out of the zone yet, and it remains so. Great pass. This is the best passing we've had in the whole GM mode so far. I mean, we are on the same page. We continue playing the Suit and Tie song by Justin Timberlake, which I didn't even want necessarily. I myself did not personally add this song to the game. It was just part of a song pack that I downloaded years ago, more than a decade ago. Well, about a decade ago now. I don't know exactly when I downloaded it, but it's been about a decade. Kuzhawinski's on. Are we cycling the? Are we going to actually cycle the puck tonight? Hedman, inside move. I was going to try to saucer that. I could not, and now he is beat. And we've created a miniature breakaway for the Islanders here. Lee, glove save. Price is on that rebound, and with 3 Islanders standing pat in front, we are going to take that whistle. And no, sir, you do not. Yeah, get that puck out of here. I don't want it anywhere near Carey Price for the rest of the game. That should be the status quo for the Canadiens. Keep the puck away from Carey Price. That'll be shot, swallowed up by Price. Severson, we will slap clear down the rink. Is that on net? No, it's not. It will actually bounce behind Barney there in the crease. Off for Cizikas on the wing. We played that defensively well. Cizikas back to the point. DeHaan, he'll play it back to Cizikas on the half wall. Krug shot from the blue line. Muffled save by Price, but cleared of the zone by the penalty killers. That will be it for the power play as it dies out for the Islanders. Passes up for Pacioretty. Perfectly spun off that check. He passed it into the pad of Barney. Big pad save. Had to be ready for that one. Tamernis will collect in his own zone. Up the boards for Pacioretty. Up for Duchesne. Cross rink for Kuzhawinski. Drop past Pacioretty. Deke around the Islanders' defense. I'm just toying with the Islanders tonight. I feel good about this. I love when I'm on a game. When I can play like this. That's a penalty on the hit on Krug. I told you Torrey Krug, and that'll be a fight. There might be 2 penalties on this sequence. What is this? I mean, Was Hedman's hit really that bad? This isn't even a close fight. You should have picked a different fight. You just should have picked a different fight, Shala. What is this? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Is that the correct terminology? Tell me I got the correct phrase. That's not okay. Maybe it's you might have a bone. You may have a bone to pick with that hit on Ferland. It was kind of sort of in the numbers, but he turned at the last second. You saw it. Everybody saw it. So there are there's two penalties on the play. There's one penalty on the play, and there's a penalty for the hit on Ferland as well. But a minor penalty wasn't called on Hedman. I'm so confused because obviously there's the one penalty on the hit back in the... What the hell are we doing? What are we doing right now? And it finally goes to center ice. Monahan's on this. Bump pass up to... Never mind, we're not going to pass it over to Pacioretty. He dekes around 4. Now Monahan, toe drag move, draws a penalty himself. This relentlessness of the Canadiens to pursue the attacking zone has drawn a penalty. It was Tavares. It was the captain not showing leadership material on this play with the hooking minor. So we will play 4 aside now. There are 2 guys in the box for a minor penalty for both teams, and there are 2 guys also in the box. Obviously, what a dangerous hit. I'm willing to take a penalty for that. I have to stand up for Su Kai-Ming's honor. I have to. You do not hit Su Kai-Ming like that and at least not try to be invited into some kind of a fight. Louis LeBlanc, that's a penalty that I'm genuinely happy with Louis LeBlanc taking there. You have to stand up for one of your star players' honor on a hit like, even if the hit was clean. And there's the deflection, so immediately the Islanders make us pay for that. Was LeBlanc's decision to first of all, Duchesne will be the first guy out of the box as LeBlanc resumes serving his minor penalty for, I think it was for unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever it was. You have to get in the face of that player. You cannot let that go on for an entire series. But you do ask the question, was LeBlanc's penalty the right thing to do? I think it was personally the right thing to do. You get in the face of the opposing player, whatever, we give up a goal, let's just get the next one. Let's just make sure we get it back. We're a hard-working team. I mean, you can see we're just putting these dog-on-a-bone shifts together in their end of the rink. It's going to wear on these Islanders over the course of this best-of-7 series. You're not prepared for the smoke, are you, New York Islanders? Pacioretty, bump deke out into the slot area. That was a blatant giveaway, and we've seen how shots from the blue line tonight from the Islanders can go wrong very quickly. As Murphy has the strip of the puck, the turnaround, the pass in center ice was off target. And we jar the puck free. Duchesne, skate. Duchesne, lazy-ass bum Duchesne. Skate after the puck, you careless player. The puck was in front of him the whole time. It still is in front of him. And Subban has been walked here on this play by Anders Lee. Slap shot, saved by Price. This Islanders team might be a handful in their own unique way. But we got to be prepared for it. I don't care how good an opponent is. You come prepared to play everybody and anybody. Over to Ming. We'll deke around one more time. Playing it down low for LeBlanc. Ming to LeBlanc. Or LeBlanc to Ming, rather. Yeah, remember, LeBlanc stood up for his honor. Now he's trying to help his buddy get a goal. Add to that goal column. He added to it once tonight. Kujawenski fumbles around. They try to clear frantically to the boards. It's over for Severson. Shot, rebound. There's a player standing in front. It was Su Kai-Ming looking for a screen or a deflection or a rebound chance. He never got one. Out the center go the Islanders. Poked free. This will be Kamayev. Over to Stromwall. Shoot. And he scores, and we're 3-3. That was we've just had the playmaking of a lifetime in this game. I've liked the way we've connected on passes. For whatever reason, the passing accuracy is just there. I haven't altered the sliders at all. But we're putting all of our passes exactly where they need to go and where I want them to go. It's ultimately very satisfying to pass the puck tonight. Because we can be as creative with it as I want to be. We can be free-flowing on offense, and we've been working the boards hard tonight in this game as well. That's the other thing on the forecheck. You notice how good we've been on the boards? We can chip it in and then just get right in there and get after it again, and we retrieve it off of that board play. Vovoda trying to free the puck from Grabner. That was a lazy pass by Grabner. Soft passes by the Islanders to to escape the zone. A deke by Tavares. Well, that's what he can still do at 31 years of age. He's got the handles for the Islanders. Chipped along the boards. Polkinen plays it off the boards. Out to center for Voivoda. Polkinen will interrupt Grabner from retrieving it cleanly. He just sends it back in to the Canadian zone. Hedman tried to sweep it along away from Anders Lee. DeHaan deflection. Grabner about 3 or 4 times. Couldn't find a way past Carey Price, and Voivoda will dig it out for the Canadiens. It's up to center ice now. Play to the boards behind himself. Hjalmarsson buys time, space for himself for a big collision in the attacking zone. Huge open ice hit. Downey dumps it in, cross corner. And that puck flies as Cizikas goes careening into Severson. Shot to the pad of Price. This has been an exciting game. This feels like a playoff game. This really does. This legitimately feels like a playoff game. What a deke by Stromall as he dumps it in on Barney, but that's a trip coming up to Kamayev as he got into the skates of Pellick. Well, I mean, the forecheck has been humming along this evening. You can't blame a player for going after the puck on the forecheck, especially on the rebound. It was weird because I wasn't trying to dump it in on the goalie. I was trying to do a windmill deke with a right-handed shot. And with right-handed shooters, for me personally, it's harder to do a windmill deke with a right-handed shot in this game. And I perhaps never should have. It created a weird rebound off that dump-in chance as the point that I was making. And then we tried to go after the rebound chance. It'll be played by DeHaan, wearing a different number on the island here, number 16 on the blue line for the Islanders. Foster is around. He's trying to score his second goal of this game. We can send that to center ice, but it will not go as Anders Lee was the Johnny on the spot for the Islanders. It'll be a windmill deke by Marchand, harassed a bit by Tavares, and then Subban will try to tightly defend this Islanders rush and breakout play. That's a good stick by Hedman. The puck is nowhere to be found. DeHaan finds it, shoots, a glove save, and batted down for John Tavares. We send Marchand on a spring after this puck. It is, of course, not an icing because we're killing the penalty. Marchand, the cutback move, has successfully shielded it away from DeHaan until he pickpocketed Marchand. We have an icing. It's hard to get a foothold in this game right now, and that goes for both teams anyway, but it's hard for our offense to truly get a foothold. And speaking of feet, I think Damon Severson's foot has completely failed him on this shot that caught him on the right side of his leg. And he is hobbling off the tunnel. That's not a good sign for the Canadiens at the blue line. Not a good sign to not have Damon. Damon Severson is one of the most critical pieces of the blue line for this team. So to not have him is huge. It is just massive to not have any Damon Severson. That'll be a cutback move. Now Tamernis, that was for Tamernis. Horrible passing by the game. The game basically decided where it was going to pass that puck for me. It just said, hey, I'm going to intervene. My God, Price making some of the biggest saves I've seen in this game. What a move by Sean Monahan. Now, can you put him in a pickle here on the windmill? Monahan, oh, he was given the cold shoulder, and then Tavares dekes it into his goalie who made the glove save. Okay, I don't know what that... for a moment, I guess Tavares forgot what team he was playing for. He did an up and over move and almost scored on Barney. So we got an attacking zone faceoff. Voivoda, show me. Show me that you are second line material. He won the faceoff. Shot. Subban, there's a big rebound. Okay, Voivoda, go behind the net. Okay, well, we're just going to shoot this one. Subban, that one was blocked by Voivoda. We're up on the play. Might as well continue the pressure with Subban. As McQuaid, that'll be knocked down. Subban down low for Hjalmarsson. A sly poke check move at it by Barney. It'll go Polkinen. It'll slide loose. Voivoda gets one hand on it. Voivoda around the world. He couldn't get the shot off, and the horn sounds. That'll be the end of the period. Man, he is trying. He is dogging for that first career postseason goal. Man, what a game this is. This has been an exciting gameplay for me personally, and it's going to be a fun one to upload. This might be a great best of seven series between ourselves and the Islanders. Of course, Damon Severson blocked a shot in that period, and he hobbled off down the tunnel to the dressing room, unlikely to return for this game. Okay, I've gotten an update on Damon Severson. He has... I don't know how this makes any sense. He has a strained hamstring. You heard that right, a strained hamstring, and the recommendation by the team doctors is to sit him out. He is not expected to return to this game at all. I don't know exactly how long Severson will be out for, but of course he's missing the rest of this game. So not good news. If this was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, I certainly as hell wouldn't be sitting him out. Oh man, we got another one of these great grindy shifts working in the attacking zone. We're gonna punch that through the corner. Kujawenski over to Pacioretty. Pick it up and shoot it. He just couldn't get the shot away as he was harassed by the Islanders' defense. We need to gap up big time on grab. That's our puck, and it certainly is our puck. Oh, baby doll. What a play by Max Pacioretty. And a horrible turnover at the blue line by the Islanders. Habs take their first lead in this game and the series. It was like the Islanders were just standing still on that entire sequence. And that was the first line that was caught out there for New York as well on this play. Hung out to dry. Poor Barney, the goaltender. He was just struggling on that entire play. You couldn't believe that Pacioretty was bearing down on him with such speed and such finesse. The Canadiens have staked a 4-3 lead. Will it hold for the remainder of this third period of play? That's how I want to see us start the third period. No questions about where Pacioretty sits. We got a lot of questions, but that's going to be an icing. We have a lot of questions to answer in the offseason as to what to do about certain players. Pacioretty being one of them. What is the future like for certain players on this team? Pacioretty, Subban, even LeBlanc here. He's getting older. He's not really that old yet, but he is getting there. In the next couple of years, he'll be there. I think you hold on to this core for as long as you possibly can, considering all that they have achieved. And this is a core that is just built to win. It's all they know how to do is just win incessantly. Why would you abandon a core that has won 3 looking for its 4th straight Stanley Cup championship? I didn't imagine in my wildest dreams, that's a delay of game, is it not? No, it's off the glass. I didn't imagine that we would have a three-peat in this GM mode in my wildest fantasies as LeBlanc tries to pull off his most fancy of moves. Back to the point, we've hung on to pucks in this game. I've really enjoyed it. The process of playing this game has actually been fun. And by the way, in the real world, I never touched on this. In the real world, the actual Stanley Cup playoffs are about to get started. We have a big elbow into the face of Kyle Okposo, and that's an elbow into the back from Anders Lee on a shot on a play that honestly should have been a boarding penalty. Kamayev, windmill deke, there it is. It was a little delayed. There's the play in the slot, Monahan, but it's a shoulder save for Barney. He keeps the score at 4-3. That was a big save. Grabner has been tilted into the ice again for the second time in this period, and there's a big one set up at the blue line. Across Kujawenski, he couldn't get the one-timer on net. Pacioretty runs into Barney. The net has come free. Wow, how's this a game to get you hyped up for the real-life playoffs? This is intense. This actually has an intensity level to it that is genuinely enjoyable for me. So Tamernis walked the middle, wind the gun, but he got the glass. He got all glass on that play. Chalmerson. I don't know how I got that mixed up. Voivoda out of the corner. Can you dance? Voivoda open him up. Shooting on the delayed call. It's a penalty against the Islanders. So the Canadiens will go to the power play with 14 minutes to go in the third period of play. This is just genuinely probably the most enjoyable game I've had against the computers, certainly of Season 9. I know that and I wanted to talk about this too, is I'm surprised how we blew through the Boston Bruins in the last series. I didn't think we would sweep an opponent. When we came out of that Leafs series, I was actually prepared for a much more competitive effort out of the Bruins in that second round series. And what a hit by CPU Hedman, who's going to get into his second fight of this game. That was computer-controlled Hedman. Now, this is a true Hock'em Sock'em robot-style fight between ourselves and Okposo. We need to Hedman, you need to send Okposo into retirement on this fight, but he did not. I think after that fight, Hedman should just retire. Please don't, because we're going to need you to be on this blue line for a long time to come if we're going to be competitive. We have Stanley Cup championships to win here, Hedman. He just threw all of his body weight into John Tavares, who didn't see it coming. That was a freight train that could not be avoided. And Hedman gave him a one-way ticket to pain on that hit. Islanders remain on the kill. We have a minute and a half to go. We kind of wasted some time there chasing that puck down in our own end of the rink. Murphy faking, thinking about it, looking for another option. There it is, cross the seam. Duchesne, but the one-timer off the mark as Harmonic spilled one of our power players all over the ice there. I don't know who was on the half wall. Tavares digs it out of the corner. It goes back to the point. Shot. Kujawinski got to clean that rebound up. It's over to Duchesne. We're going to send it wide for Pacioretty. Cut across the middle. Set it up for the power play. Murphy. There's a lane. Blocked, or did it reach the goalie? Kept back in. What a wonderful play by Sean Monahan to keep play alive for the power play. Pacioretty up the half wall. He's going to dig this out. Slide it along. Monahan, quick wrister, looking for a deflection. There was none to be had. Cleared of the zone by the Islanders. They will chase it down. First man to it is Anders Lee. He is nudged up the puck for a moment by Pacioretty. Lee to his knees. Loses the puck to his teammate. Sent and wide of the net. I believe that was... I don't know if that was Tavares that had that chance wide of the net. Krug puts one on. Rebound smothered there in front of the Islanders' captain, John Tavares, who indeed had the chance that went wide. I like the feistiness of this Islanders team. You know, they take a dumb penalty. They go down a man. They're down in the game, trying to take a pivotal game one on the road. They're playing a hard-fought effort. This is a great effort by the Islanders. Scrappy team. And they're going about it the right way. Strom's chance is wide again. The Islanders have had a hard time hitting the net on some of these strange angle opportunities they've been seeking tonight. That's one move. That's a second move. My God, Brad Marchand. If you pulled that off, you will be a legend in the making. He already kind of is a Canadiens legend in the making. What a play here to Su Kai Ming. He spins, does his own 360s. LeBlanc back up top. Begris slide it D to D. Subban, you just got to make a move around the defense. Subban couldn't get the shot away. 2 times trying, and he failed. Bank pass off the boards. Ming, that's yours. Oh my God, they were on a change. That's unfortunate timing. If we can get a stick to that, interrupt McQuaid, the defenseman. If he fits in nicely on the left wing, Begers blocked it. And hopefully he's not out with a strained hamstring. I still can't believe that the game called that injury to Severson a strained hamstring when clearly he blocked the shot with his foot. Apparently blocking a shot with your foot will strain your hamstring as we get it covered with 8:41 to go by Barney in the Islanders' end of the rink. You know what? It's too late now. I was going to say I want to get a look at my third line up here, but we're going first line on first line action here to begin this play. Temporarily won by the Islanders. They technically won the faceoff, but we now retain possession. Rollout play. Pacioretty, big pad save, kicked out by Barney. It's back to the point. Begers just got to shoot. And again, hit friendly fire in front of the net. That's how guys get injured. That's how guys pull. That's how guys pull hamstrings. If we throw the puck on the net and our teammates block it. Oh, we got 3 guys below the goal line. That's not a recipe for success. Last time I checked, I looked at the cookbook, and that's not how you find a recipe for success. That is, but a big save again by Barney on the chance from Pacioretty. We want to keep this puck alive. Poked free for Pacioretty. Back up top. Murphy. Shot. Again, from a weird angle, it was deflected intentionally so, but it popped straight up in the air. Monahan on the intercept at center ice, and he's got a tough play to make. So too does Murphy, picked up by Monahan on the loose puck. That's a windmill. Man, I've been deking out the Islanders defenseman all game long. One-timer attempt for Kamayev was not successful. Back to the point, Tamernis. We're just thinking a little bit quicker than the Islanders are tonight. It's a shame we just couldn't hit the net there, Tamernis. Board pin. That's an absolutely perfect time for that board pin. Of course, the Islanders escape with control. Up to McQuaid. He should send this puck in. He's the lone Islanders player in on this sequence. Out to center, kept in by Grabner. That's a dangerous player to let have a clean look on the net. We will fling this back out to center ice. Pellick dumped in from the red line. We got to chop at this. Begris out to center ice. Polkinen will have a chance chasing down Hamonic. Good inside positioning by Begris, but a penalty has been called. I guess this is behind the play. It is. Timo Polkinen. This is a CPU-controlled player taking this penalty with 4:25 to go in the game with a 1-goal lead. He takes a holding infraction against Pellick. Not a smart play there. Islanders are 1 for 5 with 8 shots on the power play. I'm amazed we've held them on 5 chances. We've held them to that few shots on goal. Clearing attempt goes off the face. I'd say that the face is probably improved after that one. We probably did you a favor, buddy. Face-off win up to Marchand, but he couldn't quite play it. He had no idea where it was. Back to the point. just a quick shot. There's a big rebound. Ming! The rebound was not that close in proximity for Sukai Ming. We want to send this down the rink. We're killing a big penalty off late in the game. If the Islanders tie it and force overtime, I'll never forgive myself. Oh, Torrey Krug, where were you on this play? Torrey Krug, man, you got to do a better job defending. Maybe that's why we let you go. I gave you a couple of Stanley Cup rings. I think it was multiple cup rings. That's the only favor that I'm going to be doing to you. At the center, I couldn't find Pacioretty. That was an optimistic play. That was a more than optimistic play by PK Subban. We can take our time killing this now. D to D, and into center ice. Out of reach for Marchand. Played by Lee at center ice. Strome now handles on the received pass. Sends it back to the cross corner. We will try to interrupt this dump-in retrieval opportunity. In front, Tavares nearly just tied the game with that. Down to one knee. My players will tell you about it. Down to one knee rarely results in a goal in this game. We got a chance to clear the zone. And actually, we have a chance to do more than clear the zone. Pacioretty, one deke. That was a slippery move. And we'll get it from the corner. Pacioretty draws a penalty. Not the infraction the Islanders needed with sub 2 minutes to go in the game. They're going to have to get it done both short-handed and with an extra attacker. This puts the game to bed. A goal on this power play puts the game to bed. We don't even need the empty net if we can get one quickly enough on the power play. I wonder as well, would the computer pull the goaltender shorthanded with enough time trailing in the game? Good time to kind of slow it down. Oh, we're board pinned. Kick it down low. Ming, what's open? What's available? Over there. Murphy. That's where he was. He was over there. Murphy, a couple of skating circles around this Islanders defense. Oh my goodness, Murphy. Oh, that's a bad one. I'm sorry, LeBlanc. We set you up for that collision. I was trying to take my time with the power play there, and it could cost us. Voivoda. There's not an option at center. There is Ming, but it's going to be out of reach. Hamonic is shoved free of the puck. He should clear this. And at this phase of the game, is that the right play? It seems to work out because Okposo has been decked by Max Pacioretty. We got to absorb some contact down here, down low. In front of Okposo, it goes just wide of the crease. And that is the end of that possession for the Islanders. Again, nearly tying it. And the chance of carry ring out in the Bell Center. There's a save by Barney, 34 seconds to go. It will be held right there. The Islanders inch close to forcing overtime shorthanded on multiple opportunities. And some of their best players, Tavares had one. He had a look down low that Price took care, or rather I think he flung it wide, and Price had the most recent save down there on the last Islanders opportunity shorthanded. Oh, it was Okposo that had the last opportunity. That's who it was. Hedman's shot is blocked. There's a penalty coming up to Duchesne. It was a CPU-controlled Duchesne as well for clarification, and he is taking out his frustrations on multiple Islanders players behind the scenes. And with 18 seconds to go, we get 4-on-4 play, and I would assume this is going to be a defensive zone faceoff, by the way. The net is empty. This is a D-zone faceoff for the Canadiens. And I have my timeout. I could take it. I could use it if I wanted to. I've elected to not use it. Oh, Voivoda's out there. You could ice the game with the empty net goal. Oh, he might actually get that opportunity. Oh, he's going to get the opportunity. Voivoda, get your first postseason goal. I mean, it's an empty netter, but I'll happily watch that find the twine at this phase of the game. You have to help your team out any way possible. And if your first career playoff goal comes on an empty net, then so be it. You just put away Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final here in Season 9. I'd be pumped about that empty netter. He won the face-off in the D zone. That's the more impressive part about that sequence is he won a critical D zone face-off with the goaltender pulled for the Islanders. Do they remain? Well, we're 4 aside, aren't we? We are 4 aside, so they have not pulled the goaltender, and they are now. Not that there is any real reason to. You're trailing by 2 at this stage of the game. Subban into the Islanders bench with a 1/10 of a second to go. We will do one last face-off. Totally unnecessary. Oh boy, Hamonic, that was violent. That was a very violent collision. Did you pull? Did you pull your hamstring on that hit? Oh, get Lowe's playing and everything. The vibes are immaculate in Montreal. You can sound the siren. You can play Le Bout. The Canadiens are another win closer to the Stanley Cup final. That's one out of the first 4 that we need in this series. We got 3 to go if we want to eliminate the Islanders. But hats off to the Islanders for a solidly played first game. This had all the animosity of a conference final matchup. That was a close chance, wasn't it? For the Islanders. This had all the animosity of a conference final matchup. It could have gone either way at many moments.